Hey, Jason Baker here with Rise Real Estate. It is Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Just got back from the gym. Dad bod. It just won't go away. I got to keep at it. But anyway, I wanted to get this is your 5 minute, 10 minute little coaching session, whatever that I can do to give back to the real estate community in Montana. Okay, because it's done so much for me and my family. So that said, we are onboarding right now through our 3 month daily training 4 new agents. Okay, three of them actually have never been in real estate before, and two of them, or one of them, see the math I just did? Terrible math. But anyway, and one of them has been in real estate for a couple of years. So, but one of the hardest things as a leader is you want people to succeed so much, and sometimes you want it more than how they want it. So any of the brokers listening to this call know exactly what I'm talking about. Or it could be anything. It doesn't have to be real estate. It's so hard, and it's oftentimes it's frustrating sometimes. So anyways, we were talking to the team this morning. They're like, oh gosh, I can't believe I don't have a deal under contract. They've been on the team for a week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, guys. Yeah. So I was like, how do I explain this patience that is necessary in real estate? And then I was like, well, when I first started in 2013, what was my mindset? I have zero patience, right? So it's so they're worrying about not closing a deal. And normally I would be like, why haven't you closed a deal yet? It's been a whole 7 days, but I don't do that anymore. That's just maturity of leadership. But when I was brand new, I was like, man, I was trying to sprint to everything. I was trying to hurry up and do everything. I remember I had a real estate coach, which is a good idea to have a real estate coach. I had a real estate coach, Mike, tell me, Jason, I'm like, Mike, I want to accomplish in 5 years what all these other agents that you coached, it took them 30. And he must have just he was nice about it, but he must have rolled his eyes and saying, man, oh man. And so what he said was, your real estate career is a marathon and not a sprint. There's moments where you have to sprint, right? Got to go meet a buyer, got to get to a listing appointment, but that's not what we mean. What we mean is overall, your business will be here, and then it grows 15 or 20%, or should grow 15 or 20% per year on average if you're doing things right. So, all right. So how do we explain this, or how did I try to explain this to the recruits today, or to the new folks on the team today? And I have to explain this to myself just in different ways now, So it's the first is, who are you calling? So that's the diversity of lead gen levers. So we have things called lead gen levers. For example, a lead gen lever, one of them would be, or columns in your business, or whatever you want to call it, would be calling the people who your center of influence or your sphere of influence, COI, SOI, whatever you want, your black book, whatever you want to call it, okay? Calling those people, emailing those people, sending them comps, sending them listing alerts from the website, mailing them, call, text, you hit them from air, land, and sea, every which way, newsletters, updates, blah, blah, blah. 40 touches per year we help them set up through our Brivity software. Okay. Another popular one's becoming more and more popular that we teach on the daily is how to call expired listings. And some of you just deleted this email now here's the thing. If you ever call one of my expired listings, first of all, I'm going to call you and congratulate you on having courage. That's the first thing I'm going to do. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to offer you for free the professional photography that I did. Okay? And the third thing is I'm going to tell you anything I'm capable of telling you about the property to help you sell it for them. Now, if your heart's not like that, why? Okay, so the fact of the matter is, there could be a million reasons why it irritates people that you would call, but the job did not get done for 6 months. I've had expired listings. We've all had expired listings. The number one thing we have to remember is that person wanted to sell their house, and by gosh, they should. Now, should you ever bash the prior agent? Heck no. If anyone ever on my team ever did that, they wouldn't be on my team, but for 1 second while I told them to get on out. No, you don't have to bash the other person. you simply go over what you're going to do. Doesn't matter what they didn't do. You go over what you're going to do if they still want to sell their house, right? Second, for sale by owners. We call on for sale by owners as they pop up. There's less and less of them, and now they can't be on Zillow. Okay, so they have a need for it. So I teach my agents on the daily how to call for sale by owners. The fourth thing that we call is we call into we have power up from 8:30 to 9, and from 9 to 11:30, sometimes 12. We're calling. Okay, the goal is to have 15 talks per day per agent. Okay, myself included. I'm in the trenches as well. So the third is just listed, just sold. So if we just sold something in an area, or we just listed something in an area, we call through that area. Okay, and then the last one that we call through is our internet leads that we get each day. The agents get 50 minimum leads per month. So anyways, they call through those Brivity leads, internet leads as well. So those are the 5 pillars that we focus on the most. Are there more? Yeah, there's probably 50 more. You'd be calling probates. You could be calling, you could be calling just out of the phone book, I guess, or whatever. But, those are the ones that we really, truly focus on, right? The lowest hanging fruit that there is. Okay. So that's what we do. So we had to go over, because sometimes an agent will have too few of these. They're just calling the people that they know, or they'll have too many. They'll be like ADHD across 40 different types of lead sources. No. So 5 or less is my advice to you. Okay. Now, if you ever have any questions, what the heck I'm talking about, call me. 406-552-7548. That's my cell phone number. But whatever. If I can ever help, I'm not weird like that. There's no recruiting going on. So time invested in a specific activity. How much? So they want a deal in the first week, which I love that, right? Like I don't think I'd want to have anyone around. It's like, no, it's okay. I'm okay if I don't get a deal for a year and a half. I got enough money, or that kind of So you got to be hungry, right? But time invested in a specific activity. I asked all of them this morning, could you walk outside right now? And the answer for me is definitely no way in hell I'd have a heart attack. But the fact of the matter is would you be able to run a marathon if you just walked outside? Now, I know a couple of you could do that. Well, good for you. All right. Back to the dad bod comment. But that most people can't just walk outside, right, in high heels or whatever that they're wearing at the office. Okay. And me, muck boots. I like to wear muck boots more than anything in the world. But would I be, or Crocs, right? But would I be able to go outside right now and run? No, I would die. So no, I can't. So how much time have I invested in learning how to run a marathon, learning how to make these kinds of calls, working on my scripts, working on my presentations, listing presentations, my pre-qualification scripts? How much time have I invested? They say it takes 10,000 hours to master something. I have gone over that when it comes to prospecting in my real estate career, right? Which is why it elevated to the point where it did. I don't have to go spend, $9 billion on, marketing every month in order to get the listings. I literally, when I first started, I got Mojo Dialer. I got a list of leads. I didn't know anybody. I knew 17 people are on my list of who I know. And I called, and I think in my first 12 months in the industry, I closed around 50 transactions. And that was just through sheer effort. And I had a massive injury through that as well. I'm not saying that to be egotistical or braggadocious. I'm just saying that if you'll designate enough time to something, you're going to get really good at it. It takes about 10,000 hours. And so 10,000 hours is called a marathon, not a sprint. And you have to give yourself that grace, and also the people around you. But they got to be moving. You got to be moving towards that, right? And you have to have a plan in order to do that. So that's why from 8:30 to 9, our plan is to get better at real estate language. What's your plan? It's not my business. You don't have to answer this rhetorical question. But and then comes the mastery. Like, what steps are they taking to understand the mastery of a specific to how, like, what's their level of mastery in a specific activity? It has everything to do with the time, and then before that, it has everything to do with the plan that they set forth. So these things all matter, and one has to do with the other. So that's really, really important. Okay. So on our team, the agent's job is to contact the people that they know, is to call the open houses and prospect in the 5 ways that I said before. Now, if they do that, We provide them with, nonstop internet leads, listing leads, and any ISA or other leads that I set for them, sign calls that I take or whatever else. So I'm basically the acting ISA on the team, set appointments to give to my agents. But we have a plan, right? We have a plan. So my agents then said, well, what if we, they're like, they want to go in that, like, I want to do 40 different things, which I love this. Like I say, it's the first week, it's enthusiasm, right? I go, just focus on those 5 things, but focus on 1 a week over the next 5 weeks and then start over. So first week, focus on the sphere. Second week, the expireds. Third week, the FSBOs. Fourth week, the just listed, just solds. Fifth week, the Brivity leads. Or switch that around. But however you put that, some people like to do the just listed, just sold calls, the neighborhood farming calls, because it's an easier no, and they get to learn on a faster pace the language of real estate when they're first getting into it and the objections that people give them. So anyways, it's just super fun to watch all these new agents in the office, and it brings me great joy. I'm probably irritating them a little tiny bit because they're outside of their comfort zone, which I'm so proud of them for being outside of. But anyway, that's my job, is to motivate and to lead them to do that. But I guess I can't motivate anybody to do something they don't want to do. But they seem to all want to do it, and they're doing a fine job. So anyway, hopefully what you get from this is give yourself some grace, figure out who you're going to call, make a plan, then allow yourself enough time, give yourself grace to become proficient at it, and then master the specific activity. 10,000 hours. But what if you give up after 3 or 4 weeks? Say, I can't do this. No, look, you're winning so slowly you don't even know it most times. All of those little contacts you're making or things that you're doing will eventually bear fruit. The more you do, the faster it'll bear fruit. So don't give up too soon. Go above and beyond, especially in this changing market we're in. And I know that you'll do great. So anyway, I hope you have a freaking awesome day. I'm sorry I bored the crap out of you for the last 12 minutes and 15 seconds. But again, these are free emails, and you can always just unsubscribe. But don't, because sometimes they're good. But I am biased. All right, have an awesome day. Let me know what you thought of the video if you would. Take care.